Mudima. Stay tuned for the headlines. With fuel scarcity hitting some towns in Cameroon, manipulation is now the order of the day. In some cities of Cameroon, the highest bidders are reportedly the ones being served. Meantime, production enterprises have been affected by the fuel crisis to the extent some companies have started sending workers on technical leave and others interrupting production. And as the world observed Junk Food Day this July 21, nutritionists have called on the population to abstain from consuming junk food, which they say is detrimental to health. Details you have in this newscast. And valorizing the traditional Ndop fabric, a Cameroonian fabric highly solicited at home and abroad. It is now widely used in traditional events such as traditional weddings and other ceremonies. You'll have the details on how the fabric is produced in this newscast. Those were our headlines. Developments right ahead. Thanks for joining us once again. We begin with the fuel shortage. Production companies in Cameroon are already on technical leave. Experts say there is bleak days for Cameroon ahead. The details in the following report.
The Cameroon Industrial Cotton Corporation, CCAM, has interrupted its activities twice this month of July due to fuel shortage. Arab Contractors Cameroon Limited has also announced the technical leave of project personnel as a result of global diesel crisis. Experts say it is the beginning of bleak days for Cameroon.
All the companies are going to be affected, not only companies, not only production companies, not only transforming companies, but all the sectors. Transport is also going to be affected because I heard that, some transporters are already saying that they might go on strike very soon because, they don't have fuel, therefore they cannot run their vehicles and so on. So it's going to impact all the sectors. Again, take this. Economy as a whole is energy transformed. Be it if you are selling, you need to transport your goods. If you are producing, you need energy to produce. If you are transforming, you need energy to transform.
Recent outings by stakeholders in the sector and government officials indicate that Cameroon is financially burdened and might not cope to entirely subsidize fuel in the months ahead.
We've been importing 100% of the fuel that we consume in Cameroon. Meanwhile, we are exporting all what we produce in Cameroon. Our crude oil is being exported. And the balance, the price in between importing fuel and exporting crude oil, the gap is very high. So because you sell fuel, crude oil, very low price, and then you import fuel, very high price. So at the end of the day, you're making the money. That is one of the reasons why the government has to subsidize fuel. And this is becoming too high.
Marketers and international partners are reportedly not comfortable with transactions, and these might extend the fuel crisis and further weaken the economy.
International partners do not longer want letter of credit anymore. They need to be paid in cash because when you send letter of credit, it means you have enough currency in your operational account to actually liquefy this letter of credit, and the international bank cannot actually liquefy it and then give cash to your partner. It simply means they're no longer going to accept the letter of credit. Therefore, you need to pay in cash.
In spite of assurances by governments on July 11 that fuel was being sent to supply the Cameroonian market, the scarcity is still being felt and already affecting production companies in the country.
And fuel scarcity has given birth to manipulation and black marketing in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, with the highest bidders being served, as we hear in that report with Beatrice Gamo from Yaoundé.
His mission is to get this precious substance called fuel. His bike is stationed where his force could push and pack. And here he is still searching. I am aware, but what can I do? I cannot keep on pushing the bike. I pushed yesterday night and stopped. I'm obliged to continue. And if they refuse selling to me, I'll go back on foot. The image terrifying. On bikes, like on cars, are containers. Running out of fuel in the village, came to town to buy. 5, 10, 20 litre containers, the business bubbling around. Succeeding like this one with only 2 litres, total magic. Many are aware of the risk and the delicate nature of their manipulation. I am conscious, very, very aware, but as you see, it is the scarcity that makes us to do this. Transporting, as they are doing, will leave casualties in case of accidents. In case of an accident, it is evident there will be explosion. But for the time being, we do with what we have and can. Some say they just buy to stock to avoid any future price hikes. To be sure, they are having. And when a car owner arrives where it is in great supply, they go with containers. The neighborhoods, like homes, are no longer safe. Black market is now the other, advantageous to high bidders as money moves between fingers. Do all claim they are taking the necessary precautions, accidents of any kind can happen. Containers with fuel can be mistaken for cooking oil in the course of manipulation.
And as we talk about fuel scarcity in the nation's capital, Yaoundé, commuters in that town are lamenting over deplorable states of roads, which they say get worsened by the day. Potholes have again developed, and say they are being developed into gutters as the rain hits the town. You have more with Beatrice Gamu once again.
Every neighborhood in Yaoundé has its own blessing in the form of potholes, and they are back in force. The potholes, combined with the disturbing fuel scarcity, is the origin of most congestion around town. The cry almost general. Many yellow cab drivers refuse to ply such stretch of road as residents lament how they suffer to leave or to return home. Movement very difficult, traffic very common, hours of wait to get a cab tiring.
Il y a une autre voiture qui esquive aussi la route et nous aussi on esquive la route. Parfois ça crée des collisions entre les voitures.
They often start as small holes, and with continuous usage they keep broadening and deepening, especially with the rains. Some are taking the form of gutters already.
Ça crée les accidents ici là, les motos tombent, les mamans derrière les motos tombent.
Souvent ils tombent même dans la rigole ici avec mes clients. Ce n'est pas normal.
Almost all around the affected neighborhoods, from Eligejwa, Mokolo and many, stifled by the increasing potholes. As users are more careful along such roads, eyes are looking to the powers that be for quick intervention, this to lessen the already difficult time.
And the Yaoundé commuters decry bad roads in the nation's capital, Yaoundé. The presidency of the Republic has officially confirmed the visit of French President to Cameroon from July 25 to 27, 2022. This is contained in the communique signed today by the Minister and Director of the Civil Cabinet, Samuel Vondo Ayolo. And then we talk about junk food. Today, July 21, 2022, it's been observed as World Junk Food Day. And nutritionists have called on the population to abstain from junk food, which they say is detrimental to health. Sharifa Sali talked to our nutritionist and put together the following report.
Grabbing a quick snack on your way to work is the new breakfast trend. Also, healthy homemade meals are replaced by easily available meals from fast food joints. People these days prefer these foods and tend to fulfill their nutrition requirements. There are lots of food that we shouldn't eat, but with the mixture we have out there, maintaining is not easy. In the morning, I eat cucumber with fruits and I eat at noon, but I force myself to eat food and avoid bread and fatty foods. And in the evening, I eat very little. According to nutritionists, it may be only satisfying for the tongue because there is very negligible nutrition value in this junk food, as they may result on giving effects like obesity, which is one of the common effects, and inadequate growth and development. For these foods are loaded with sugar, calories, and fats that are prime factors resulting in weight gain. Many people think that to feed well, you have to be rich, which is very wrong. Dishes made from natural crops are very affordable on the market. Junk Food World Day, observed every 21st July, comes to create awareness that its consumption can harm the body to the point of some irreplaceable damages.
Talk about valorizing the Cameroonian traditional fabric, the ndop. It is widely used in traditional events such as festivals and traditional weddings. In this report put together by Morindi, she tells us more about the production of the traditional fabric, the ndop. Her report.
You can call it ndop, a traditional fabric from the west region of Cameroon. Before, it was reserved for the kings and notables. Today, it is torn between tradition and modernity and has been classified as a Cameroonian heritage. The availability of the fabric in markets, shops, and many other places has pushed many to fear for the unknown. Disclosing the fabric is gradually losing its sacred side. Wambeso Fankam is a prince from the traditional chiefdom of Bati. He valorizes ndop during a funeral ceremony.
Au départ, c'était pour les princes.
Initially, the ndop was for princes and not even all princes who have already been initiated. Today, it's almost everywhere and is highly sold in markets. Solange Yongo and her cousin visit the forest on a daily basis to cut raffia leaves that is used to make ndop. They tear off the raffia leaves that will be used to make ndop. Here is a new fabric, after which we engage with this new fabric. I learned the two lines from my mother when I was just 8. She taught me how to weave the two lines. 24-year-old Doreen is a designer. She sews accessories like earrings, necklaces, hats, and many others using the ndop. We decided to valorize it and modernize it because when things are a little too traditional, there are some who don't like it that way. A lot of people love the mixture between tradition and modernity. Herman Iyongwe is the president of the association Sevong Lundop. He places his collections of ndop on a stand. For us to always get this originality, we have to be with the craftsmen and professionals who still exercise the profession. Why? Because nowadays, craftsmen have always transformed the fabric. The danger of this disappearing one day.
Et ils ont tourné le dos, ils sont concentrés dans le commerce.
It should be noted, the ndop fabric is highly solicited both at home and abroad, thus affecting the cost price, which for now sells above hundreds of thousands of francs CFA.
And we move to the northwest region of Cameroon to talk about 39 judicial police officers who have been sworn in at the Bamenda Court of First Instance. They have been charged to collect fines from defaulters of the law or charge them to pay in court in return for a receipt. This in a bid to complete certain provisions of the Criminal Procedure Code of 2006. You have more in that report.
26 gendarmerie and 13 policemen have this Wednesday, July 20, in Bamenda, taken an oath to be judicial police officers over simple offences on the highway.
And the simple offences are classified first, second, third, and fourth category. When a judicial police officers on the highway decide to apply a fixed fine, the first thing he has to do is that he has to disclose identity to the offender. And the second thing he has to do, upon payment of the fixed fine, he will issue a receipt.
Swearing in the 39 uniform officers in a one-agenda special court session, also attended by the Northwest Administration, the president of the Bamenda Court of First Instance warned them against misusing the new powers bestowed on them, because the same court shall turn the heavy arm of the law against them.
It is the first of its kind, and it is going to enable that all the provisions of our criminal procedure code shall henceforth be fully implemented in our region.
Now this money will be collected. Then I will now enter it into another book called the cash book, the daily cash book. And that is that book that we are going to use, or I'm going to use to pay the money into the government coffers. They are in duplicates. And when immediately that is paid, a receipt is issued to me at the level of the treasury. And the receipt together with the cash copy of the daily cash book will be forwarded now to the State Council.
Conducted in strict common law style and entirely in the English language, emphasis has been laid on the fact that offenders have the latitude to pay on the spot or be charged to pay between 1,000 CFA francs and 25,000 francs CFA for simple law offences in court, with almost all vehicles now carrying chassis number plates in Bamenda due to threats from separatists. Judicial authorities say the fine is 25,000 CFA francs.
And it is with that report that we wrap up this edition of the Primetime Newscast in the English language on Canal International. The French edition will be yours at this hour, exceptionally. And up next is a debrief with Lee Pieju. I'll be yours again at 6:15 p.m. tomorrow for the Primetime Newscast in the English language. Until then, it's bye-bye for me.
Canal 2 International, toujours plus près de vous. Du lundi au vendredi sur Canal 2 International.
En direct de Mabouga, où nous avons assisté il y a quelques jours à une scène jamais vue au Katsunga.
Le Katsunga tremble.
Puisque les agents de la police criminelle continuent de garder le silence, les spéculations commencent à apparaître.